Got News of the World. What's this? News of the World 1957. Who killed the Countess? A stiletto ends a heroine's life. Now a yard appeal. So yes, just whatever was going on in the world at that time. But yeah, News of the World, eh? Who remembers that? Hello, we're back again for another pull and pack. So going to start off today with a bit of pull and packing. But firstly, I'm going to say I've got a proper mic now, so you might be able to hear me without having to turn your televisions up, because I know that the previous episodes have been a little bit sketchy on the on the sound. Hopefully that problem is now resolved. Anyway, quiet day yesterday, so we'll go straight into pulling and packing. First thing I've got is a Roman fibula brooch, and that is in Greyjaw 6. So a while back, I had a parcel come in from an archaeologist that works at my market, and it was of, we had a bundle of these Roman fibula brooches. Now they've all been professionally rewired, so the actual main body of the brooch is original, but the sort of the wiring, the pin has all sort of been redone. Anyway, let's see which one's sold here. I think it might be this one. Yes, that one is sold, and it's sold for £31.95. So nice, genuine piece of ancient jewellery, circa 200 to 400 AD. So nice piece of wearable ancient jewellery. Here's one I listed earlier, number NO76. This hasn't actually been online very long. I only listed this maybe last week, and I was actually giving it for free, so that's an even bigger bonus. It's a piece of Elkington plate, 1897. It's got quite a lot of wear to it, unfortunately, which, you know, does detract from the value. But it sold for £29.22. So it's all right. Let's go into Italy. And that's that order pulled. It is a 6-piece order for £63.20. It's a selection of early figures. Most of them that are sold are early Native American Indian figures. Cowboy. It looks like a farmer, and it looks like I should be carrying something as well. Hands there, I would imagine like some sort of gurney or something. And then a West Indian regiment, band soldier, Britons, about 1940s sometime. They're quite rare. Yeah, so anyway, that order there, £63.20. Up next, got a crystal, again, recent listing, NO30. Another one of the laser engraved crystals. This one is of Notre Dame. I imagine that's probably Notre Dame before the terrible fire that happened there, as it was originally. Glad to hear that they are doing their best to reinstate it as it was, preserving history and all that. Next up, antique EPNS silver plated teapot in NO16. Oh, back down here again. What we got? Here it is. There it is. Nice teapot, coffee pot, whatever pot. Put hot stuff in it, pour hot stuff out. That sold for, what did that sell for? £24.95. Another book. Funny enough, we sold one of these from the last video I did, the Paris Match magazine. It's being book box 4. I'll be back. Paris Match. I don't know if there's some recent relevance that's come about with these magazines, because we've had them online for a while. over 6 months, well over 6 months. And yeah, sold 2 within 3 days. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, that's sold for £25.02, including P&P. So over here. Next up, we have a charm, and this is the point where I say I'll be back. Sterling silver charm, including post and packing, because it's going overseas, £20.15, and that is a little silver wishing well charm. Next, no, not that. Not that. We're doing a compact N04. That is a compact 1940s to 1950s blue mirror powder case. Sort of, yeah. There you go. Hey, look at that handsome person there, eh? Yeah, a little bit worn, but nice early piece, compact. I tell you what, it was a revelation to me when I bought a few. I'll show you them. I bought a huge collection, which I haven't yet managed to get through all of them yet. I've probably got through about, I don't know, 15% of them. But yeah, wow, big collector's market for compacts. And that sold for £13.95. And that's all on that shop. As always, Sarah will pull the Japanese stock. I have got some here in the office with me, which is some that were pulled earlier. So we've got a tray, one of our lacquer trays. If you remember the story I told you the other day where I bought 500 lacquer trays. My wife absolutely loved me that day. And this has gone for £21.60. Vintage lacquer tray. You know, signs of wear, but still plenty of years of good life in it. And a good thing about lacquer, you can buy lacquer spray that will put the shine back on the lacquer again to restore it. I don't do that, by the way. I leave that down to the customer. If the customer wants to do that, that's up to them. I sell it as it is. Next up, we have another one of our Japanese wooden boxes. Ta-da! And they're sold for £27.51. Then I've got another Kakeshi doll, nice large one. I think that's up in my office, you know, because it's a recent listing. Next up, we've got a Randasuro backpack. Another one that's probably a 1980s one, quite worn, not in the best conditions, but still got use in it. You know, it's still functional, still can do its thing. I suppose it's got that rustic look, eh? And that has sold for a grand total of £29.95. That's quite cheap for one of these. We don't usually sell them that cheap, obviously, because of the condition. Very cheap one. And I think that that is everything that I actually have that's pulled to hand. We've got another 10 orders on the Japanese shop to pull. But we're going to go out for breakfast. We'll take kids out for breakfast. We like to go down the Toby Malta Inn in Maidstone. Really nice place to get breakfast. By the river, you can get a nice walk in afterwards. The weather's come down a bit though. What is it? I think it said 6 degrees this morning. How true that is, I don't know, but because the Alexa's not always accurate. But the heating is fired up, so it's got to mean it's cold outside. Winter walk and breakfast coming up. Breakfast done with the crew. Now we are off. Yep. That's breakfast done. Love beef eater. We come here all the time because the kids under 12, they eat free, which saves you a lot of money, and it's a nice way to start the day. Beautiful sunshiny day. back home and off to work we go. Right, back in the office now, and I'm going to run through some bits and pieces with you, stuff that I picked up at the market yesterday. Picked up some interesting odds and ends. Going to go through what I paid for them and what I hopefully, speculatively, expect to get out of them. So, first off, I'm going to go with the free stuff, the stuff that I paid absolutely nothing for. I picked up some stuff yesterday. As I said before, sometimes some of the dealers, they just don't want to carry stuff around. They like to clear it, and usually it's like big bulky glass stuff. So this gear was the first off. Cost to me £0. Not the most attractive thing in the world. Not something I'd buy. I wouldn't personally go out my way and actually purchase something like this. But I would expect I'll get somewhere between £15 and £20 for that. Then there's a little crystal jam pot, mustard pot, sugar pot, whatever you like to call it. That was again free. It's quite a nice thing. I should probably get about £20 for that. I've sold these before. They usually tick over all right. And then there's this thing, which initially I thought was a vase, and then my wife said, "Oh no, there's a hole in the bottom." And it's actually for candles, which yeah, you sort of your long candles. You stick that in there. It holds it in the base, and it just burns down. So it's a candle holder. Again, something different. I expect we should be looking at £15–20 for that, and it should sell. Then there were these three things, which potpourri dishes, cocktail glasses, that sort of thing. I mean, you could probably put a decent ice cream in there, but they'll serve a purpose for one thing or the other, and they're quite nice. That one's quite nice. I like the colour combination on that. And I expect these will go somewhere again, £15–20. So they were all free, and there was something else someone gave me for free as well. Sort of one of the dealers, I picked it up and I said, "Oh, what do you want for this book?" And he went, "Oh, just give it." He said, "Just have it." It's all right. Thank you very much. Nothing special, just a little prayer book. 1928, Common Book of Prayer. People do buy these, and it's also a nice bookshelf book. That's what I like to call them. So a nice old-looking book that will sit on the bookshelf. Hopefully someone will open it up and read some prayers. Anyway, free. Owes me absolutely nothing. So that lot, pure profit. And that's a great way to start. Something else I got for free, before I go on, were these. One of my mates, he said, "Look, do you want these? I'm going to throw them in the bin otherwise." And I thought, they're old fuses. I don't know how old. They've got some age to them. But you know what I thought? Steampunk door handles, with obviously some work, but I'll leave that up to the end buyer. Steampunk something, so we'll see. Right, next up we have these, still in their original boxes, Britain's 1971. These are quite nice figures, to be honest. I mean, these horses on horseback, I'll typically sell these for sort of £12 to £17 on their own when they're not in boxes. So I've never sold box ones before. I don't know what they're going to be worth. Yeah, I would expect at least £20–25 per box, and £10 paid. So should be a tidy profit in them. Now this tin was interesting, and it's not the tin itself I was interested in. The tin will probably fetch maybe 20 quid, I would expect. These are quite collectible, these old tins. But it's what's inside it. It is a tin absolutely full up with old nails from like early buildings. So you're talking 18th, 17th, 19th century. Someone's galvanised a lot of them. I don't know what that will do to the value of them. I can't imagine it would be too much of a negative, but I don't know how well you can see that, but the box is full of them. There must be, they get the smaller ones down the bottom, there must be around 100 nails in there. Anyway, £30 paid. I'm quite confident that I'll get a good return on that. I don't know what yet, but we should be quite well into the hundreds on this lot. And some, to be fair. So, good lot. Next up, this was, I won't dig all these out because they're all buried down the side of the box. Curious lot. There are see these Beetles. They're Matchbox 1970s. I've got there's about 40 of them, and they're all red and they're all green. I believe red may have been an original colour, but all the green ones look like they've been painted green. So for whatever reason, someone had 30, 40 plus of these, and so there's about 40 of them, and I paid a tenner for the lot. I thought, you know what, I'll bundle them up. I don't know what they were originally used for. However, the guy who sold them to me, he said, there's another 400 if you want them. We'll see. This lot here, I usually go for the Victorian newspapers if I can get them. They're quite good sellers. I'll typically charge £20–25 a Victorian newspaper. These aren't quite that early. These are 1930s to 1950s. So there's a lot of interesting news articles in here. I mean, this one here, Wednesday 11th of 1936. It's just interesting to have a read through. And what we've got here, Skyscream will defend London. So what is that? A system of balloon aprons was used in defence of London against Gotha raids in the war. It compromised the blah, blah, blah. It's just interesting stuff to read on these. It's before the days where the sport was at the back of the paper. Yeah, and there's loads of interesting reads in here. The trouble is when you're listing them, you do find you get caught having a little run through what's going on in that time of the day. We've got dramatic broadcast, my decision alone. Prince Edward officially still Edward Windsor. Yeah, anyway, there is a 30 plus newspapers here. I would expect each one of these newspapers should fetch me in the region of £15 to £25 per paper, and I paid, I think £30 I paid for the lot. So again, good investment. Interesting thing to buy and work with. Got News of the World. What's this? News of the World 1957. Who killed the Countess? A stiletto ends a heroine's life. Now a yard appeal. So yes, just whatever was going on in the world at that time. But yeah, News of the World, eh? Who remembers that? Anyway, that I believe is everything that I purchased at the market yesterday. I think that's it. Yep. And now to go on to my next job is where I start putting it all in the stores to try and sell it. So that is my Friday for now. I'll catch up with you in a bit. And that's me for today. Thanks for watching. Obviously, as I said, I'm new to this. I'm not even 2 weeks into adding videos onto YouTube, so a lot to learn. But I'm trying to keep it interesting. Please do let me know if there's anything you'd like to see, if there's anything you'd like to know, or even any assistance I could help if you're looking to build your own store. Anything you'd like me to cover or add in the videos. I've got a lot of experience doing this, so I've got a lot of value to offer. Yeah. Otherwise, stick around. Keep your eye out for more interesting stuff that I'll be putting into the stores and picking up. And yeah, again, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.